Gentlemen, boys and girls, he's and hers and theys, welcome to another episode of the State of the Strong, a Bull Brand podcast. You know how we do it over here. We only have Omangoba. We have industry revolutionaries, leaders of the evolution and innovators at their very core. My name is Lerai and I am with my one and only co-star,
Sibumbanza, the ever so handsome.
Yes, the ever so handsome.
Ladies. Just putting it out. No, not the right time. Sorry, my bad.
It's not the time.
Okay.
But today we have, oh my gosh, I love this. Today's guest. I'm going to tell you guys a story, but let's introduce her first. Let's greet her.
Sure.
And then I'll tell you a story of how I discovered her.
I'm excited.
We've got Amonge Sinxoto on the show today. How are you doing, darling?
Hi, how are you?
I'm great now that we're next to you.
She's got such a sweet voice.
Right?
Thank
Can you get on that Calm app and read me bedtime stories? I think I'd pass the hell out.
How are you with ASMR?
I'm really not a fan. I just it gives me the heebie-jeebies sometimes. It's just a bit it's a bit too much for me personally. But I understand the calming effect of it for sure.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with something very fast-paced.
Okay,
we're playing a game called 60 Seconds of Strong. You have to, girl, you gotta guess it, right?
Okay.
It's not just a game. This is like a competition.
Okay.
It's a serious thing because remember, we are bulls out here. We are strong.
Yeah.
You have. The goal is very high. I'm not even going to tell you because
Rather don't scare
I don't want to scare you. But basically, I'm going to hand you pieces of paper that have either a sentence that you need to complete or a question that you need to answer.
Okay.
Very quick, fast paced. Get as many as you can. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Mr. Sibumbanza is going to...
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
The type of parent I would be is strict. If I were an animal, I would be a dolphin. Rich and sad, or poor and happy, rich and sad. Wow. A word I can't pronounce. Damn, I don't know.
Vocab be popping.
Okay, I believe the South African government is in need of leaders. The reality show I would be on is Young, Famous and African. Instagram is powerful when you use it right. The most used emoji is hearts. I love to send love. If I were president for a day, I would I would just really try to change things and help people.
5 seconds.
If I had a superpower, it would be what is it called? To teleport, that one. South Africa is, I think, the best country in the world.
Time.
Hectic.
The best country in the world. She didn't lie.
That's the best way to start it. Let's do a tally of your...
Let's see.
Your papers.
How many we got?
Guys, I'm struggling.
It's all good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yes.
8, 9, 10, 11. Okay.
That was good.
I think the minimum is 10.
It's 10, yeah.
If you don't get 10, we have to say thank you very much. It was lovely having you on the podcast.
Slightly above average.
You're above average, and we appreciate that.
But you know what?
Yeah.
At least she's doing good in other places.
Exactly.
So I said I was going to tell you guys a story
Please
of how
do.
So this was around 2015, 16, probably early 2016. This is when you just started Blackboard Africa. And this is how I discovered it, right? So there was this guy.
Every good story starts with there was this guy.
And I had a really huge crush on, and he was I knew him from church.
Ooh,
I'm exposing myself now. He's probably gonna be able to know who he is. And so when you go on the gram and you have to do your research and check the pictures. But this guy literally only had like 2 pictures on his page. So I had to look at the tagged pictures. Click on the tagged pictures and I see he's in this room with a lot of people, like a conversation type of thing. I click on that. I was like, oh my gosh, more content, right? I'm like,
Not more
yes,
content.
give me more. I want to see, who does he hang out with?
Yeah.
Where does he go?
Oh
And he was at a Blackboard Africa session, and I was like, so then I had to go to that page to see if there's more pictures of him that you guys, I wanted to look at. I don't think Instagram had just launched stories there
I
as
don't
well.
know who this
So,
is.
do you know who it is?
I want to know. I don't know. I don't know who you are.
You cannot know, but that's how I discovered Blackboard Africa.
Oh, wow.
And since then, I have literally followed your guys' journey as Blackboard Africa, but yours as well. She has got... Do you know that she knows how Michelle Obama smells?
Imagine
like
that.
she's touched her and hugged her and just... And that's not the only thing.
Yeah. You've seen her purse her lips in person. The way she's
So the first thing that I have to ask you before we dive into how did you, all the things that you've done, which are amazing, what were the biggest influences in your childhood that molded you into becoming the person that you are?
Jeez. I think there were so many things that were sort of a part of that journey. I think just my upbringing and my school environment, like I was really happy as a child. Like I was really, really happy, chirpy person. And I was never afraid to like say what I want and speak my mind. Like I'm a Taurus, so I won't hold back, So that was just always me. But then there was a point where we all started to grow up and it started to feel like I was kind of being told to like keep it together a little bit. And like, push certain sides of myself to the side. Yeah. And I thought it was very confusing because they weren't telling certain kind of girls this, and I felt like it was really coming towards me. And so I was really like troubled by it. And so I would go to my parents, and again, like I'm saying, they're a big influence because they were the kind of parents who would never like step in for me. They're not like I'll set up a meeting with the principal kind of parents. Like they're like, oh, you have an issue, let's talk about it, let's hear what it is, but it's your responsibility to take action for the things that are frustrating you in your life. And so that's just the approach that I've always had in my life, I guess. And I think it's definitely come from them. Like they've always been the ones to tell me to like create my own path, just run my own race, and never be sort of shy and like afraid of saying how I'm feeling or standing up for what I believe in. So I think honestly, that's been a big influence, just having my upbringing and having that shock of like, oh, okay, so, we're all being treated a little bit differently. And then, just having my parents to support me in a way that like encouraged me to find my voice and use my voice, but in a way that made sure that I was taking ownership of it for myself. Like they didn't try to step in and like shape it for me, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think they would definitely be the big molders in my life.
Yeah.
As they should.
As they
be.
should. So the first time I think I ever like saw your face or saw like your content was a TED Talk. You did TED Talk at what, 18? Younger? 18.
Yeah, no, I think I was 18.
Imagine
I was in
that.
matric, so I was 17.
So you're 17.
Yeah.
And you're getting on stage talking to a lot of people about social issues.
Yeah.
How does that go? Like where do you get that kind of confidence, that kind of bravery and courage to stand up and say, you know what, even though I'm young, and I know a lot of you probably think, I haven't lived life and I don't know the experiences, which you clearly show that you do understand. How does that come about?
Geez. So I mean, like you said, I actually started Blackboard Africa probably in 2016. And 2016, I was 15.
Yeah.
So by the time I was 18, I was feeling a little bit confident
Yes,
with it.
girl.
Do you know what I mean? And I think I'd spoken to one of my mentors, and she had told me to like make a vision board. And I swear, TEDx was on my vision board.
Wow.
Not even a joke. Literally, I think it was like 6 months before.
Yeah.
TEDx was on there, a couple of different other things, the brands that I want to work with, like all of that was on there. And then 2 weeks later, I got an email and they're like, oh no, so we would like for you to do a TEDx. And I was like, oh, let's do it. Let's go, you know? So, I mean, I was obviously really nervous because the actual number of people in the room wasn't that many. So I wasn't necessarily nervous about that, but I was like freaked out because I was like, what I'm going to say right now, it's not about these 20 people in this room.
Yes.
It's going to go out into the world and it's going to represent me and what I stand for and what I believe in. So that was what was really nerve-wracking for me. But I was so excited about it. At the same time, like I said, it was on my board, bro.
Yeah.
You know? So it was really, really exciting to sort of see something like that come into fruition.
Yeah.
And also just be able to speak about something that I know and something that I understand, you know, social media and social impact, like literally Blackboard Africa, its origins, like you're saying, it's on Instagram. Like it all started on Instagram. And so it was really amazing to kind of talk other people through what that journey was like for me. And hopefully, you know, they can take that tool and apply it to their own lives and see what kind of impact they can make.
You know what Amonge has?
Yes.
Ibizwa consistency.
That's it.
I want to tell you, at 15, that was 18, you were 18 years old, and now she's turning 21 this year. And I even remember the shirt that you wore was similar to this, but it said Africa is now. And I think that's such a strong statement, and it resonates so much with who you are and the things that you've done. You mentioned that your mother was raised in the USA. How did that influence sort of your journey with Blackboard Africa and you breaking the boundaries and representing South Africa and Africa in international platforms?
Jeez. So, look, my mom was raised in the States, but before Blackboard Africa started and all of this, I had never been outside of South Africa. The first time I actually left was when Blackboard Africa was approached and they were like, come, it's the Global First Ladies Alliance Conference, come and speak and engage with us. And so I actually didn't really kind of go abroad through my mom. It was through this work that I was doing, which I think is really a testament of the way that she's raised me, in the sense that, like, yeah, she grew up in America and, you know, there's certain experiences that she had differently, but she has a really incredible appreciation for all that this amazing continent has to offer. Yeah. You know, she's a creative, so, you know, to be able to understand the creative hub that is Africa and South Africa, the beauty that's within it. Like, you know, she's always been someone who's really pushed that in all of her work, telling the African story. And so I think seeing that through her, it's really pushed my appreciation for the African continent and what I think my role in that should be. And kind of that's how Blackboard Africa started. It was just about, okay, there's this certain narrative about what it means to be a young African. And are we liking it? Do we want to rewrite it? Do we want to, you know, what's our role in that? And through me doing that work and continuing that conversation, then it started getting international sort of recognition. So it was interesting to engage with, you know, internationals in the sense that, like, you don't have to necessarily understand my experience play by play, but, you know, you can relate to the themes and the things that we're discussing around identity, around culture, around, you know, feeling like you're not in the right space or there's certain people who don't want you in that space, you know? So, yeah.
Wow. At 15, 16, I was a stupid boy trying to learn how to overcome Ikwababa. You know, I wasn't starting platforms and getting a greater understanding of how the world works. I'm trying to imagine at 21, what was my greatest achievement? I can't even, in my brain, I just don't understand having one of those. But you've been busy for the past couple of years. So what do you feel like is your greatest achievement so far?
Jeez.
At 21.
At 21.
I love this. You know
Less
what?
than a quarter of life.
Before you answer that, I love the fact that, yes, I still am the youngest person in the room, but I have a peer. Like a diary.
Honestly.
And I just, you know what? I'm loving it. And we need more of this.
Yeah.
So greatest achievement, I mean, there's been some really, really exciting stuff. Like, so I met Michelle Obama. We were...
Wait, pause. First lady. First lady.
No,
Flotus.
honestly.
How did that, wait, let's take it back. How did that happen? For the people who want to meet Michelle Obama, they're listening right now and going, how do I do it?
Yeah. So I was a part of a leadership program called Black Girls Lead. They run the Black Girls Rock sort of award show. So, I was part of their leadership program, and it was really, really amazing. It was earlier, and I think it was 2018. And then towards the end of the year, they said that, former First Lady Michelle Obama, she approached them and was like, so I have this new book coming out. It was Becoming, and she just wants to have conversations with young women. And so the Black Girls Lead sort of family, they reached out to me and they were like, you're always traveling, so if you're gonna be in Boston, we would love to have you. And I was like, I think I'm gonna be in Boston. That time I'm writing exams, and I'm like, no, I'm writing matric exams, and I'm like, I'll make a plan to be in Boston. So that's what happened, and then I fundraised for it, and I was there, and it was amazing. She's like the most amazing person. I think it was so crazy to talk to her, and she was like really excited to meet us. I was like, wait, what?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? And she was like, I've done research on all of you and like all the initiatives that you guys have going on, and I'm so inspired by all of your guys' work, and like I just want to have a conversation with you. And I was like, oh really? Okay. So that's definitely up there. Last year I won an award for, in the industry of, social impact. It was really, really exciting. But honestly, I think the biggest achievement from my work is that like people have attended our events, our workshops, our programs, and they've gone out and they've done really incredible things. They've started podcasts, they started clothing lines, they've really shifted their mindset. And for me, that's the biggest achievement, because then I feel like there's impact being made,
That must feel so fulfilling.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
Going
amazing.
back to what you said about just being in the room with all those young people, and you actually wrote an article for a magazine talking about how they had to get there 2 hours before Michelle Obama got there because, Michelle Obama has to clear everything out. And then they took your phones away. Then, after that, she had a notebook with her. Yeah. They weren't allowed to write notes in the conversation. It was so, but you were in a room with other young women that really are inspirational as well, and you were representing our country. So what I want to understand, from just to get your take on this, what do you think sets Mzansi apart from the rest of the world? But not only that, what sets the youth of Mzansi apart?
Geez, I think there's something about like this generation of South African youth that is just it's so unhinged, and I love it. I'm here for it. I think we need this new sort of vibrancy of just like, I'm being me so unapologetically, so unapologetically. There's so much that this whole generation is just not putting up with. And so amongst that, there's innovation, there's creativity, there's so much bubbling here. And then with another just layer of, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it, and there's nobody who's going to tell me anything about it. Like, that's just, I'm here for it.
You speak about really serious issues, and I think sometimes those can be really tiresome. I just want to know, Amonge, when she needs to relax, when she needs to take a chill pill, remember that she's 21 years old and has a lot of life to live and is trying to have fun. What would that look like?
There's a couple of things I do. I really love to spend time with like friends and family, like being around my loved ones for me, like, because I'm not much of an extrovert. So being around people that I know and love, that's like, that makes my day. I'm really into hiking, like really, really into hiking. For my 21st, I'm actually doing a big hike in Tugela Falls in the Drakensberg. That's just been a really big thing for me, like being up on, like, on the mountain. It's so tough because I'm at the bottom and I'm like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And it's hot and it's sweaty.
Yeah.
But to get up there and look down at the beauty and be like, I did that. Like,
Yeah.
I did that, you know? And just like embrace the beauty and be with friends and laugh and chill and like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I do.
And we have something to celebrate. She's about to graduate
Yes.
from studying politics and
An
international relations.
academic, ladies and
What
gentlemen.
are you doing after this? Like, what's next for you?
So I'm doing my honors right now. Still at Wits. I'm majoring in politics. But I would just really love to be sort of doing the work that I'm doing with Blackboard Africa full time. Like I would love to be putting a lot of my energy into that, you know, as the organization has been growing, you know, it's just needing a lot more full-time support. And so I would just really love to be stepping into that role. I'm also a writer, so, you know, I'm working on a children's book that's coming out this year.
Nice.
So, you know, I'm really, really excited about that, you know, kind of teaching young kids to embrace the power that lies within their names. So that's something that's, you know, it's to look forward to. And yeah, just different projects that are coming up that I'm really excited about.
I love that. Obviously, on a proudly South African podcast, I just want to know from you, what do you think makes South Africans strong? Because this is the state of the strong. What do you think makes us stronger than, you know, any other place? Because if there's one thing about us, we're a bunch of strong people. What do you think makes us strong?
Geez, I think South Africans are really like resilient.
Yeah.
Like I think there's so much history. There's so many experiences that we've been through. Like there's certain, you know, things that happen where you're like, yo, it's rough. But like, but we're here and we're still standing and standing beautifully, you know, standing gracefully, standing, you know, impeccably, you know. So I think for me, I love how strong-willed we are as a people. We're here to stay. And I think that's a really great characteristic.
And I think as South Africans, we need to really actually be proud of that.
Sure,
Be proud of it and really walk in it everywhere we go. Because, you know, sometimes when you're so used to being something, you don't realize the power and the significance
100%.
that you hold in this world.
Yeah.
So it's for us to keep going with that resilience and really understand what we've gone through and keep pushing it. You mentioned that our government needs more leaders, you know, and what you're doing, the work that you're doing is genuinely sort of a stepping stone that the leaders of tomorrow are going through. And so, you know, I want to say thank you to you for actually seeing the need for that and being like, listen, I want to make a change and I want to be the change that I want to see. And that's what Bull Brand is doing with the State of the Strong podcast. You get what I'm saying?
I'm waiting for a purr. Those nails were moving.
I had to. Guys.
No, surely. Next time I think I should do mine too. And then we'll do it together. Say nothing else. Before we go, a lot of young people are obviously watching you, they're listening to you, and I think a lot of people are getting inspired to start things much earlier. You know, you don't have to wait till you're out of school and you have a degree before you want to talk about something you're passionate about. What is your message of strength to a 14, 15-year-old who wants to follow in your footsteps?
I would just say the time is now. Like not yesterday or tomorrow or the day after that. It's now, yo. Like I think now is the time because we don't have that much responsibility.
Sure.
Honestly, like we're not at the age where bills are piling up and kids and husbands and like, whoa, you know, like we're in this space where we're really free to do what we want and really be bold about it. Because like there's not much, like you still have so much life to live. So, you know, if it doesn't work out, people fail. Like you have so much time to come back. So, I would just say the time is now. Whatever you're thinking, whatever you're imagining, if you're an entrepreneur, you better preneur, babes. If you're a designer, better design. Like, if you're doing the things that you want to do, like, you must do it now. Like, the time is now fully.
Yeah, the message for today, and I think it's a post that I've been seeing from people that I follow, is just like, if you have a design, go print it on a t-shirt. You're a designer. If you have a business idea, go start it. You're an entrepreneur. Just go do it right now. And that's what we're doing right here. It's, these are the conversations that we have to have at the State of the Strong.
I'm learning so much, and I think if there's one thing I didn't realize is that I'd be learning so much from people younger than me. But I appreciate all your wisdom, guys. Truly, I'm not being sarcastic. I promise you. I really appreciate all the wisdom you guys have done. Both of you have done incredible work, and I'm so proud of you guys. Actually, I'm getting emotional. We need to call it on the show. Thank you so much for being here. We loved your presence. We hope to have you back soon. Dera, you've been an amazing co-host as usual. The best of the post.
I love you. I love you.
Don't make me cry. Guys, that was the State of the Strong audiovisual podcast brought to you by Bull Brand. We'll see you guys on the next episode.